You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hi, we're Enterprise Splaining, the podcast where we explain Star Trek Enterprise to each other and to you. I'm Bill, and these are my co-hosts Maria.
Hello.
And Jamie.
Hi.
Today we're going to be talking about the Star Trek Enterprise episode, The Expanse. However, I'm the only person who has actually watched it, so it's my job to explain to my co-hosts what happened on the episode. Gang, we made it. The finale of Season 2. What is going on? How many times have we quit this show?
If we were to count the number of times I had a nickel for every time we considered quitting this podcast.
I didn't think we would get past 3 episodes when we started this. I just wasn't sure.
It's really weird thinking of it in terms of modern media, where like a Netflix show will have like 8 or 10 or 12 episodes. This was like a network show in the 2000s. They did 20, come hell or high water, they were going to do 24 episodes of a TV show a year.
I have to say, I believe with all of my heart that we would not have made it without Jamie. You are literally the person who has pushed us to actually make the actual logistical details of this shit happen. We are so, otherwise Bill and I would just been like, whatever, man. We would never record. We would never have any idea of our schedule.
So Maria and I are the stone, and Jamie is Sisyphus.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel terrible because you do exponentially more work than we do on this podcast.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's more that I just am thinking about it all the time, and I'm constantly stressed out about like, what's the episode this week? Is it ready? Do we have it edited? Like, where are we?
Bill and I don't even know.
Maria, do you remember when Jamie had a concussion? It was like, the episode's going to be really weird tonight. It's like, Jamie!
You have a concussion. We're not recording.
Although maybe
like,
for this show.
I was like, guys, what if we record and we just don't have video so that, because I can't look at screens. And you're like, what if we just don't record, Jamie?
What if we just don't record?
Like a flashback episode. Oh boy. Business first and foremost. Of course, we have t-shirts. You're a simple human, naked and alone and freezing in the cold. You need clothing. We have it. Go to ESO Network. Click on their TeePublic link. You'll find our t-shirts there. Here we go. Computer! Tell us about the episode we're talking about this week.
The Expanse. An alien race known as the Xindi launch an attack on Earth, causing great casualties and massive damage. As Enterprise heads back home, an unlikely source informs Archer about the Xindi and that their next attack will destroy Earth.
I don't know, guys. I've seen The Expanse. I mean, it was really good. I really liked it. Didn't think it was in the Star Trek universe, but okay.
There were people fucking with giant ribbons, I think? Was that like literally, that's probably literally the first shot in The Expanse. That's the only thing.
The only thing I remember from The Expanse is that all of these characters are supposed to be like miners out in the like asteroid fields, and yet they are all like 23 and look like models, and I'm like, you cannot convince me any one of these people are actually like grizzled miners.
Was exactly my complaint with Alien Romulus, which is the characters are all supposed to be like, they're literally trapped in a corporate hell on a mining planet that they cannot escape. They are all beautiful duty. They look like they walked out of the OC. Perfect skin, flawless, young, sexy fashion models.
That was your only problem with Alien Romulus?
I like Romulus a lot. Actually, supposedly out there's a cut where somebody has taken Alien Romulus and cut out all the legacy stuff, all the stuff that's references to, and apparently it's a much better movie.
Interesting.
I don't even know what that is, and I will not ask.
Yeah.
It's in it. Yeah. Okay.
We should do an away mission where Scott explains Alien to us.
It's already on the list.
Is it on the list? Okay.
On the list is make Scott watch Unexpected and then tell us about that and Alien. As a potential away mission.
Here we go.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
The final Two Truths and a Lie of Season 2.
God.
Are we ready? I'm going to tell you 2 truths and a lie, and my co-hosts are going to try to figure out which is which. Here we go. Statement number 1. Trip visits his childhood home.
Huh? How? Okay.
Statement number 2. Duras has a very bad day.
Oh, Duras back.
Statement number 3. The Vulcan Science Directorate finally admits time travel exists.
No. Absolutely not. Number 3 is a lie. Number 1 makes no sense. I don't understand, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get a flashback or something. I don't know. Number 3 is a lie.
He gets face jizzed by a wisp and imagines it. It's happened before. But I am going to go with that one, just to be different. I don't think that Trip visits his childhood home.
Okay. All right. Statements are logged.
I have hope for the Vulcan Science Directorate, even though
you believe in them?
No, I don't.
While our listeners ponder what this week's lie may be, let's hear about one of our sister podcasts on the ESO network.
What if you could bring 3 experienced producers into your home each week to discuss your favorite movies and the people that made them? That's Tales from Hollywoodland. Your hosts, Arthur, Julian, and Steve, collectively have years of showbiz producing experience. Their weekly show is a fast-paced, fun, and very conversational experience, like spending a good time with your best movie-loving friends and family. Tales from Hollywoodland is available wherever fine podcasts are found. See you at the movies.
Cold open, Earth, the big blue marvel itself.
Ooh.
A satellite warps in. It looks like a big orb with rotating rings around it.
Huh,
Suddenly, it fires a beam, cutting a huge swath across the surface of the Earth, through the oceans, and then back through more of the Earth. Huge fire everywhere it touches. Then, the probe breaks apart and falls to Earth, and we have faith. It's time for Jamie's Diane Warren update of the week.
What the fuck?
Guys, buckle in, because stuff happens in this episode.
Like a huge portion of the Earth just got destroyed with a laser thing?
A beam cuts through the Earth, and we get a close-up, it digs a huge trench through a portion of the Earth, goes into the ocean, then hits land again, and cuts some more. Then the probe itself, the rings fly off, and the probe flies off into the atmosphere.
Can you tell, what part of the Earth?
It'll come up later.
Okay. All right, so...
That part will be explained, yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering if, when you're looking at the planet, when you see it, if it's, obvious where it...
Kind of, sort of. It'll come up later.
Okay. Well, we are at our Diane Warren update of the week.
Very quickly.
Yeah, really quickly. Yes. I have a little lightning round here. It's basically a bunch of Diane Warren things that I came up over the last couple of weeks that I just, in the Diane Warren segment, didn't get to previously, but I figured would do them all now. The first is that at the Grammys, apparently when some people saw her on TV, they mistook her for the sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh my god.
Because she does look like her.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
And people were like, shouldn't that lady be in jail?
Yeah. People were posting on social media what the fuck? How is she out of jail?
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine?
But apparently Diane Warren thought this was very funny because she posted about it on her Instagram.
That's great. So great.
Amazing.
Secondly, she released a new song called If This Day. It's sung by a husband-wife blues gospel duo called The War and Treaty. It's fine. It's a very Diane Warren song. It's a ballad. But one weird fact about the War and Treaty that I learned from their Wikipedia page is that the guy who's in the duo, when he was in the military, his unit was staying at one of Saddam Hussein's private palaces, and there was a piano in the basement, and his commander was like, you should learn to play it. And that's how he learned piano.
I literally thought you were going to say the sheet music for Faith of the Heart was on the foot. Like this solid gold piano.
Or just, I actually thought you were going to be like, he had a piano and Diane Warren was down there playing it.
How many crimes
Saddam
against
Hussein's
humanity?
basement.
How many crimes against humanity is Diane Warren going to be accused of in this episode?
Bill, you and I need to make up 2 truths and a lie about Diane Warren.
I think Jamie should do that and try to put it past us.
I probably should have done it this week when I had all of these.
Yep.
But the song is on the soundtrack for the Amazon Prime series The Grey House, which at the time of this recording has not even premiered, so don't ask me what it is about. I have no idea. Thirdly, Diane Warren's song with Kesha, Dear Me, was featured in a Canadian Visa Olympics ad. At least I think it was because Diane Warren posted the ad on her Instagram, but I cannot find evidence of it anywhere else. And I have looked. Visa has separate ads with a similar theme from each of the 3 featured athletes in that ad, but none of those use the Diane Warren song. And then this is one that has all 3 of them and then uses the Diane Warren song. But it works because the song Dear Me is like about writing a letter to your younger self to tell them that like everything's going to be okay. And in the ad, they have like each of the athletes writing a letter to their younger self about how like things are going to be okay. Like one day you're going to make it to the Olympics or whatever. So good on Diane Warren getting those like Canadian dollars, I guess. And then lastly, Diane Warren posted an AI slop video on her Instagram with the caption, I am wrecked. That is so fucking stupid that I need to tell you exactly what happens in this video. Because I watched the entire thing multiple times because I was like, I can't believe she posted this. So there's sad music playing and we see the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes.
What?
Yeah, the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes walking up a path, and it's got like a broken leg. It's got like a wooden cast on his leg and crutches, and there's icicles hanging off of its face for some reason, because again, this is AI slap. Sure. So it's like walking up this path with crutches, looking very sad. And then it cuts to Wile E. Coyote at his home, sitting by a fireplace, also looking very sad, and then just like staring at all these photos of him chasing the Roadrunner. And just like being sad about it.
Okay.
And then the injured Roadrunner shows up at his door and they hug. And then it pulls out and there's a sign that says, that's all, folks. Wow. And again, Diane Warren posted this.
Sounds like she's in a bad place.
Yeah.
With the caption, this wrecked me.
But what?
You know, it can be amazing what affects you when you're in an emotional spot. I'm not defending this at all. I'm saying I've been in places where
oh yes, I
the
have
two of you
too.
know something like just hits me. Just okay, good.
Anyways, yeah, and I just don't. Was the Roadrunner, is it injured because of Wile E. Like, why is the Roadrunner? Because usually the Roadrunner doesn't get injured. The Coyote gets injured. Like, that doesn't even make sense. And then why is he going there? None of this makes any sense. But she posted it and she wrote, this wrecked me, and I had to tell you about
Diane, whatever you say.
Let's see what song from Diane Warren comes out in 3 months.
Anyways, that is it for this week's Diane Warren update.
Thank you, Jamie. We are back, and now we are on an unidentified Klingon planet. A bunch of very old Klingons are super pissed that Archer has eluded their grasp twice. Twice, they say again. Which means that Enterprise-era Klingons are even more incompetent than the Enterprise crew. And they charge one man to restore both his own honor and the honor of the Empire. Guess who? That's right. It's Duras. He vows he will not fail.
I love that both Jamie and I were like, yeah, Duras definitely has a bad day. Neither of us were taking that as the lie.
Yeah, like, if Duras
that seems like it's going to check out.
He seems like a character that's going to have a bad day.
Yep.
He is. Maybe he's the Wile E. Coyote.
I mean, he kind of is. Like, he definitely feels like a character where things are never going to go his way.
Yep.
We cut to Enterprise. The command crew is in a conference room, and they're all wondering why they're there. Archer is away talking to Admiral Forrest, according to Hoshi, the third time this hour. Nobody knows what is going on.
Ooh.
Archer enters. He informs the crew that there's been an attack on Earth. A probe fired a beam that cut a swath 4,000 kilometers long from Florida to Venezuela.
Oh.
Shit.
The estimate so far is 1 million casualties.
All right.
The Enterprise is being recalled to Earth. Did they say why? Asks Trip, somewhat bizarrely. Why are they calling their fastest ship back to Earth? He says it. I didn't ask, says Archer. It'll take a while to get back, adds Travis.
Do they doesn't say how long?
No, he says it'll take a while to get back. We specifically, they are not answering any questions about where they are.
There will be no further questions.
We cut to Archer's room. Trip enters and asks if he knows what part of Florida was hit, and Archer says he does not. Trip mutters, she may have been away. Architects take lots of trips. And we learn that he has a sister, a younger sister named Lizzie. Maybe she was away.
She's an architect.
This show doesn't think there are any other jobs.
Boyfriend.
The only jobs that
you could be an astronaut, or you can be an architect. It's
right.
the 2A name. They opened the course manual. Is she an aardvark? No, that would be absurd. Nobody would believe that.
I love architect as a job because architect usually crops up in like rom-coms.
Rom-coms, they're always architects.
Oh yeah.
It's a job that is creative but also makes a lot of money.
Boring and safe, yes.
So yeah. So it's like, okay, I want like a hot guy who is creative, but he can't be poor.
And he
so architect.
And you have to be smart too. Like it has to be like it's creative, but you also need like the engineering side of it. So you gotta be,
Yeah, and that's for men specifically. For women, it's usually like an interior designer or something like that.
Event planner.
Yeah, or event planner, yeah.
Trip asks if there's any more information, and Archer says yes, the casualty list has been revised to 3 million now.
Woof. Poor Trip. So he's worried about his sister. I thought he was going to be worried about a girl. I mean,
yeah,
a girl of his. Like a girlfriend.
Malcolm enters and asks what happened to Ruby Francesca.
Malcolm enters with a list. He's checking them off. Nope. This one's still alive.
Am I imagining this? He had a girlfriend, right? But then they decided when it started, he had a girlfriend, but then they like broke up.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Well, there was Ruby the waitress.
No, maybe.
No, I thought that he had like.
I think there was.
I thought he had an actual girlfriend, and then he was like telling Malcolm how it's like, oh yeah, because I don't know when I'm coming back. She broke up. There was like a day where he's like, oh, I'm so sad because my girlfriend broke up with me.
I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was going to be the ex-girlfriend.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
T'Pol enters. She's spoken to Ambassador Saval. They've recovered the remains of the probe in Central Asia and have turned it over to Starfleet. The pilot was killed on impact, and they don't know the species.
Oh, it was a piloted probe.
It was.
Interesting.
It's weird to me that they don't know which parts of Florida were.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
If they're counting the dead, like I feel like it'd be obvious which parts.
Well, Archer doesn't have that information in his conversations with him.
Yeah, it's just you would think he would have asked.
Trip asks her, did the Vulcan say anything about which part of Florida was hit?
Oh, good.
And T'Pol says, no. And Archer points out that he had a sister who lives in Florida.
I would think that he has lots of friends and family in Florida. It's got to be... I don't know. Was it strange that he's just asking about his sister and not like the rest of his family?
They're just making it personal.
Sure.
I mean, his parents may not live there anymore.
Sure. Yeah.
Or even be alive. Like, I guess we don't know what the deal is with the rest of his family.
Malcolm comes in. They've detected 8 Suliban ships approaching at high warp, and this day just keeps getting better and better. Archer hails the Suliban ships, but nothing doing. The power goes out, and there's a Suliban on the bridge, on the roof of the bridge.
On the
lights
roof.
The lights come back on, and Archer is gone.
He got kidnapped again?
Yeah.
Motherfucker gets kidnapped every fucking episode. In the recap, we need to count the number of times that man has been kidnapped this season. Because just this season alone, I can think of 4 individual episodes.
No,
This is the 51st episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
And last time, I don't have it on me, but I know it was 32%.
32%, yes. Suddenly, we are on the Suliban ship. Archer is some sort of jail cell, and Silic enters with 2 guards. Silic, I knew you'd have something to do with this. Archer accuses him of killing millions of people, but Silic claims ignorance.
Yeah, wait, what? Like, why does he think that was...
Wait, which one is Silic?
Silic is the leader of the Suliban.
He's the only Suliban whose name we know.
Yeah, he's
it's
the guy.
Same Suliban every time.
He's the main guy,
So for a second, I thought it was that guy that he met in the prison camp. But no, that was a different Suliban. Okay, fine.
Silic claims ignorance. However, there's someone who wants to talk to Archer. Don't worry, you won't be harmed. He takes Archer to see Fuzzy Future Guy.
Ooh.
What?
Man, we're getting everything in this episode. We've got Klingons, we've got Suliban, and we're getting Fuzzy Future Guy, but then also, like, whatever this shit going on with Earth, which, again, I don't understand why Archer thinks it was Silic. Like, just because Silic's here with Archer right now. He's clearly not over on Earth doing stuff, but whatever.
Well, they are the main villains of the show thus far, the recurring villains.
Fair.
Fuzzy Future Guy lays it out. Your planet was attacked, but you don't know why. The probe was sent by the Zindi, who are a new alien race. Why, asks Archer. Because they hate your freedom. No, just kidding. The real answer is that the Zindi learned that their world would be destroyed by humans in 400 years. How do they know this? They were told this by people from the future. Archer, hilariously, asks if they're the people the Suliban work for. No, says Fuzzy Future Guy, the Suliban work for me, remember? This really bothers...
So the Zindi are new, like, have they never been on Star Trek before?
They're brand new.
Okay.
So Fuzzy Future Guy is still, like, fuzzy and, like, weird voice.
He's a silhouette. You can see just a silhouette talking to Archer in his little, like, projection pod thing. Archer rubs his 2 brain cells together and reckons that Fuzzy Future Guy is the one who's been messing with his mission since day 1. And why would he help them?
Why does he think people have been messing with his mission?
Well, because he knows that the Suliban have been... He's the guy... He knows that the Suliban have been getting information from the future, and he's just... We forget...
What evidence does he have that anybody's been messing with his mission?
Well, what's his name? Daniels told him.
Yeah, Daniels told him, and then they went and fucked up his... They made him do a genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one time.
And then
but he already knew that was
then they, like, kidnapped him and sent him to the future.
Yeah, like, in the specific Suliban. I guess, like, I don't know, for some reason it made it sound like he thinks that, like, all the time they're just like...
Everything that goes wrong.
Oh, yeah,
everything that goes wrong is Suliban's fault instead of his own incompetence.
That's at the end of every mission report Archer files, and it was the Suliban all along.
It was probably the Suliban, yeah.
Fuzzy Future Guy tells him that the people behind the Zindi work for another faction in the temporal Cold War, apparently. And he tells Archer, the probe was only a test, and the Zindi are building an even more powerful weapon, one that will destroy the Earth. So why is Fuzzy Future Guy helping Archer? Because if the Zindi build this weapon, it will contaminate the timeline, and Archer must not allow this to happen. He tells Archer he has no choice but to believe him.
So now Archer's gonna work with the Suliban?
I'm so fucking confused as to the motivations of this fuzzy man.
We're moving on. Don't worry about it. We're moving. We're moving.
Yeah,
we're
remember
moving.
when the Suliban, like, saved the Enterprise? Like, it's actually not clear to me that the Suliban have done, like, I guess they did take over the Enterprise at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Archer is back on the Enterprise. Archer lays it all out to T'Pol, who says that Starfleet will probably find a far more logical explanation than time travelers for the attack on Earth.
Oh my god.
Fucking time travel to Paul.
After a commercial break, Enterprise enters Earth's solar system. There's a new estimate, 7 million dead.
Jesus.
On the bridge, Travis gets a line. He points to a bright blob on the view screen. That's their sun. And after this moment of hope, beep, beep, a vessel is dropping out of warp. It opens fire. It's the Klingons. God damn it, one thing after another.
Oh, they're fucking Klingons. Jesus, there is a lot of shit that's going down in this episode.
We are dealing with stuff, Duras. Can you not even?
Yeah, wait. Archer's not on the Enterprise anymore, right?
No, he came back. He
came back. Okay.
The Suliban put him back on there. Yeah.
I like that they just kidnapped him just to, like, have a chat, and then we're just like, okay, we're sending you back.
Yoink.
The Klingons demand Archer surrender or they'll destroy Enterprise. They open fire. Phase cannons are down. Duras prepares a boarding party, but at just that moment, 3 other Earth vessels show up and start opening fire. They are swarming all around this Klingon bird of prey.
Okay,
Nobody said they'd be fighting back.
Duras, you picked the wrong day to fuck with
You
her.
picked the really wrong day.
Wait, so has it all been the same day? Like, did the Enterprise get back to Earth in a day?
No, it took them long time. It took them a long time.
Okay, so it's been like I didn't realize like how much time
amount of
passed.
time.
It's been long enough that they figured out that the body count went from 1 million to 7 million.
Right.
So
they
Yeah,
finally
but
made it
that
back.
could just be like a couple days. But
It
presumably
took however
it would
long
take
it
them
took.
a long time to get back to Earth, like weeks.
Yeah.
Or months.
They're finally back.
doing it again, Jamie.
Yep.
You're getting tied up in the warp nonsense.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the warp nonsense. It's just gonna make you crazy.
These other vessels are swarming the Klingon bird of prey. Klingon shields are falling, so they go to warp and get the fuck out of there. Archer gets a hail from Captain Ramirez, not a white guy, on the Intrepid. And he says, basically, welcome back. Looks, what was going on there.
What was that all about?
Yeah, no shit. Don't even get me started.
I'm sorry, Bill. Did they they didn't destroy the Klingon vessel?
No, the Klingons escaped. The Klingons took some damage, but went to warp.
Oh, they just fucked right off. Okay.
Yeah. We are on Earth. The crew surveys the damage visible from space, and Trip ain't doing well. He does not say, I wrote down, he doesn't say, I can't see my house from here. But I thought maybe that was in poor taste, but I don't care. Now, we're on Starfleet headquarters with Forrest, Archer, and Saval. Command is having a hard time buying Archer's report about what the Suliban said. Do you have a better idea about who did this? He looks at Saval. I suppose you think I'm hallucinating. And Saval says, say it with me now. Our science directorate has determined that time travel is impossible. Take a drink.
God, these Vulcans.
Archer wants to take Enterprise to find the Zindi. He apparently got some coordinates from the Suliban. Do you know where those coordinates are? And Archer says they're about 3 months away at Warp 5.
3 months?
Saval. Mm-hmm. No, Saval says, they're inside the Delphic Expanse. Saval explains, it's a region of space nearly 2,000 light years across. Vulcan ships have entered it, but only a few have returned.
Okay.
Space Bermuda Triangle!
Yeah.
Space Bermuda Triangle! Archer actually says, it sounds like the Bermuda Triangle. Saval says, there have been reports of fierce and dangerous species, unexplained anomalies. In some regions, even the laws of physics don't apply. 20 years ago, a Klingon vessel emerged from the Expanse. Every crewman on board had been anatomically inverted, their bodies splayed open, and they were still alive.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
That is horrifying.
The Space Bermuda Triangle sounds... The Spermuda Triangle sounds terrible.
Spermuda? That's the porn
Bermuda
parody.
Triangle has to be the name of this episode.
Archer replies to this information with, "It's a risk I'm willing to take, and I imagine most of my crew would be with me." Even Forrest is skeptical.
Archer's like, wait, inverted? Anatomically inverted? I'm still alive?
Let me tell you, Hoshi, not on board with this.
Hoshi is not on board.
If there was a vote, Hoshi is definitely voting no.
Even Forrest is skeptical. Command will need some kind of proof, but guess what? Archer has it.
Oh?
We cut to some kind of storage room with the debris of the probe. Archer takes out a device and starts scanning everything. It's quantum dating the material. And according to this device, he finds a piece that was synthesized 4 years ago. Another one is 12 years old. Everyone, including the audience, is getting agitated by how long this is taking. Archer pulls the core out of something and notes that this piece is reading a minus 420, which means that it came from the future.
Wait.
Now,
what is he measuring on these? I'm really confused.
how old the material is. So he's showing them this device. I don't know if this is his device or if this is something that Suliban gave him, but it's telling them how old the material is. All of this of the probe.
Got it.
All of it is from like 4 to 12 years ago, but this one piece is negative 420, which means it comes from 420 years in the future.
Got it.
No. We can go back to we had Phil Plate on.
I literally have a note about that.
Yeah, we asked him about
carbon dating.
Carbon dating with the Borg, and his point made a lot of sense that like with carbon dating, it's you're dating how long has it been since this thing died. But really with any like material or anything, it's going to be like how long like since this material was whatever was created. It's not going to tell you it's from like if it's traveled through time, then it's just going to be like, oh, it's 3 years old because they made it 3 years ago in the future.
Great point, Jamie. But this is quantum dating. It's completely different.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why this is very heavy is that because while the Suliban can communicate through time with Fuzzy Future Guy, he can't send them things back in time. He can only give them information about technology they can build.
Oh, because I was about to ask, why has he not tried to do this previously?
Yes.
Well, I guess like they could have done it on what's the guy, the future guy?
Fuzzy
Daniels?
Future Guy.
Daniels.
Oh, Daniels,
They could have done it on Daniels' shit and then proved that it was from the future and then shown the Vulcans.
Yeah, but he was not supposed to touch any of Daniel's shit, remember? He promised. He pinky promised.
And also, again, so Fuzzy Future Guy can only communicate through time.
Right.
But Daniels
He could
can
send
come
them
through
plans
time,
about how to build things, but he can't physically send them objects.
But Daniels can physically move back and forth in time. So presumably
can.
at some point in the further future, people do have this technology.
That's the key question. How did the Xindi get this? Saval finally caves and admits that time travel... Just kidding! The lack of an explanation doesn't mean that your assumption is correct, Captain Archer. It's not an assumption he's spoken to time travelers.
I have literally spoken with this...
I just want to bring out this whole tone, the whole tone of him scanning stuff and pulling them out. This is played with the tone of, fuck yeah, Archer's sticking it to the man. But once again, he's just doing what a time wizard told him to do.
Always. That's all he ever does.
Forrest,
I can kind of understand Saval not believing Archer, because, fuck Archer. I wouldn't believe Archer either. But, T'Pol was there. T'Pol herself has talked to a time traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Forrest agrees to talk to Command. Archer asks to take a look in there. And Forrest opens a container with the burnt-up body of a humanoid, the pilot of the probe. They don't know if it's a Xindi, but Archer sure as hell wants to find out. Back on Enterprise in Medbay, Archer enters. Phlox introduce Archer to Dr. Farrat, a Vulcan. The Vulcan research team detected traces of pyretic radiation in the alien debris, and if there was any exposure, he'll need to be treated. So he has to determine the extent of Archer's exposure, and as he scans him, he starts asking Archer some questions. Have you experienced any nausea or dizziness? Numbness in your extremities? I was told that you think a piece of the wreckage came from the future. Have you encountered people from the future before? He then starts asking Archer how he feels about meeting people from the future.
Oh my god.
It must be very difficult to have so many people question your story. Does it upset you? And then suddenly Phlox ends the examination because he's just checked the Vulcan database. There's only one Dr. Farrat listed, and he's not a pathologist. He's a psychiatric analyst. The Vulcans are so hung up on time travel, they're trying to prove Archer is insane.
Vulcans will literally send you to therapy rather than admit that time travel exists.
Phlox says, you came to my sick bay under false pretenses. Where are your medical ethics? And Farrat says, I'm just doing what I was told to do. Archer tells Phlox to escort Farrat to the airlock, and Phlox heartily agrees. Whether the airlock is connected to anything is left to the viewer's imagination. We are on Earth. Super close-up of Trip and Malcolm standing right next to the scar left in the Earth, and Malcolm says, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Trip says, the house was over there, and that used to be the old movie theater. Malcolm says, are you sure she was here are you certain she was here when it happened? And Tucker says, somebody would have heard from her if she wasn't.
Oof.
Back in orbit, Archer and Forrest are in a shuttle pod, and they are observing the construction of the NX-02. She'll be ready to launch in 14 months.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Archer has informed the crew of the new mission, but he doesn't think he'll lose more than 8 or 9 of them. But,
Wait, 8 or 9 what, people?
Yeah, people not agreeing to go on the mission. No, not
Okay.
dying on the mission, not agreeing, like, not finding it.
We're gonna opt out.
Refusing to go on the mission. Sorry, I phrased that very badly.
I feel like we'll only lose 8 or 9 of you. It'll be fine.
But we learn that there will be new crew members. Archer talked to General Casey, and they're adding a complement of non-Starfleet military personnel to add some muscle to their exploration.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay,
while it turns...
that's worrying. Like, military personnel? Oof.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be great.
But also, yeah, so, like, Starfleet,
So we're back to it. Starfleet, not military.
Starfleet, like, has a Starfleet itself, not military, but Starfleet has a military.
Well, Earth has a military.
Right.
It might not be
Okay.
Starfleet.
They have presumably a self-defense force.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really unclear about what the mission of... If Starfleet is at this point a purely exploration, diplomatic corps. It also turns out that while the Suliban told them to look in the Delphic Expanse, they didn't say where to look, nor how much time they had. And Archer replies, I didn't think you would have warned us if we didn't have a chance of stopping them. Medbay, with Phlox and T'Pol. T'Pol asks Phlox if he's certain of his decision. What decision? The decision to remain on Enterprise. How did you know? And T'Pol replies, Crewman Fuller told me the shuttlecraft is on its way with 200 snow beetles, and there isn't a doctor on Starfleet that would have the slightest idea of what to do with them. They have a heart-to-heart about if T'Pol is going to stay. And she says the High Command has made it clear that she is not to go to the Delphic Expanse. And Phlox points out she's defied the High Command before.
Several times.
Phlox says, to go or to stay? For me, it was a simple question of loyalty towards the captain and the sad realization that he'll need me even more on such a crucial mission. But for you, it's a slightly more difficult question. Does your allegiance lie with the High Command or with Captain Archer? It's a nice
And what
scene.
about your fiancé? Would you ever want to see him again?
Yeah.
We don't even bring that asshole up.
Has the show just forgotten that?
I think. Well, maybe not. Who knows?
Suddenly there is a delivery of snow beetles, and T'Pol gets the fuck out of there. Oh, sidebar, the crewman who delivers the snow beetles is a black woman who gets a line.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice. Our standards are so low.
The limbo stick is... Well, no, I was going to say the limbo stick is on the ground, but that would be extremely difficult. The limbo stick is in orbit. That's
Exactly.
We are in the armory, and Malcolm has a new toy, photonic torpedoes.
Ooh.
Their yield
light?
is...
So, light? It's like
They're
torpedoes made out of
photon
light?
torpedoes.
Photon torpedoes.
They're just
They're
added the ick so that it's old.
Instead of being missiles, they have an antimatter core.
Okay.
Malcolm also explains that they have a variable yield, so they could knock the Gamma ray off a shuttle pod without scratching the hull, or they can put a 3-kilometer crater into an asteroid. Right now, they've got multiple crews working on altering the tubes to accommodate them, because photon torpedoes are much wider than the missiles they were using before, but they also need to adjust them for the power supply. So he and Trip head off to do that.
They should pick up some medical assistance. While
You
they're
might
on
think
there.
that.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
That would be smart.
All the people that they didn't have when they fucked off in episode 1. Yeah, maybe.
Fox is like, they're gonna need me, but just me. Like,
Just
what?
me. Malcolm makes the mistake of asking if there's going to be a memorial service for Trip's sister. She didn't care for memorials. Malcolm mentions that he heard that there was a service for all the victims a few months ago, and Trip wants to know why he is so obsessed with memorials. 7 million died. Lizzie was no more important than any of them. And Malcolm tries to back that. It's like, well, she was more important to you, and Trip is not having any of it. He's not dealing with his shit, you'll be surprised to learn.
Poor Trip.
So just let it alone. Maybe you should pay more attention to upgrading your weapons so you can blow the hell out of all those bastards when we find them.
Ooh,
He stomps off.
We're gonna get off-kilter Trip. That's gonna be fun.
Back in Starfleet headquarters, Archer and T'Pol are shown a distress call from a Vulcan vessel that went into the Delphic Expanse, and it looks like the Enterprise crew. People are screaming and flailing at each other, beating each other to death. They are on the ground screaming. You know the drill. It's like the three of us discussing the end of Cogenitor. It was it's really intense.
But it is the Enterprise crew?
No, it's a Vulcan distress signal that they got from the Vulcan crew that went into the Delphic Expanse.
Got it. Oh. So it made him crazy.
Tells Archer he should reconsider the mission.
Of course he does.
We are now outside the headquarters, and Saval is happily telling T'Pol about her glowing future. If all goes well, you should be able to return to your duties on Earth within a year. That is, if you're still interested. You haven't been on Vulcan for some time. You may find your assignment at the Ministry of Information refreshing. T'Pol asks why she can't stay in San Francisco, and Saval tells her she spent far too much time among the humans. It would be best if you returned home for a while. Mm-hmm. What she absolutely cannot do is remain on Enterprise for this mission. The High Command is very clear about that. T'Pol thinks that should be her decision, and Saval says that is not a matter of choice. Defying the High Command would mean immediate dismissal. You know that.
Do they say why is it just that it's too dangerous and they don't want to lose one of their people? Or?
Vulcan's gonna Vulc, you know how it is.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, she doesn't have a say in it. She shouldn't have a say in it. She's part of that organization.
In their military, yeah.
You don't get a choice on where you get posted. Even if she's a diplomatic person, you don't get a choice as to where you get posted.
Yeah.
We are back on the Enterprise at a later date, and they are leaving Space Dock. They're on the way. They're going to drop T'Pol off at Vulcan. No reason to put her on a Vulcan ship under heavy guard. Anyway, Enterprise
Totally.
leaves Space Dock.
Tote's gonna do it. See you there. Totally will see you. Tell my architect husband I'll be there soon.
Tell him to put the oven on to 350. We do a quick cutaway to the Klingon ship where they are waiting for Enterprise to go to warp.
Oh, the Klingons are still around?
The Klingons are still around.
Wait,
Yep.
Okay, wait.
It's just a quick cutaway. We see Duras asking, are they at warp? No.
So they're just hiding somewhere.
The Klingons...
They're lurking.
I'm so confused about the timeline here. I thought that the Klingons were there when they were way out, but then presumably it took them weeks to get back to Earth, but then the Klingons just followed?
The Klingons attacked them at Earth.
In the solar system.
Oh.
In the solar system.
Within our solar system.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
So
Don't worry about it.
yeah, and then they're just like, hey, so
they ran away,
are
and then
just like hanging out. They got their binoculars, sitting outside Earth, just like waiting for the Enterprise to leave.
They're in a blind, in a tree in a blind with binoculars.
Yeah, they're just like keeping an eye on the Enterprise, waiting for it to go
Waiting
somewhere.
for the Enterprise.
Exactly.
Okay.
We are in the mess hall. Trip and Archer are up late, and they have a nice little conversation about T'Pol leaving the ship, which they are totally going to do. And you guys, are you ready for the heartbreak of
100%.
Jolene's last tearful goodbye?
Oh, I don't know what we will do without
Yeah.
T'Pol on this
I
ship.
know that she doesn't leave, but I would say if I were watching this at when it actually aired, I would genuinely wonder, because after the last episode, I'd be like, there's no way that Jolene Blaylock is staying on this show.
Why would anyone put herself... quick costume alert. Trip and Archer are in their casual Hensleys as they are enjoying. They are actually enjoying a drink. They're having some alcohol, some brown liquor.
Nice.
This is a nice scene. Archer talks about how their mission has changed, how he started off just wanting to be an explorer, and now he's worried about the lives of all the crew members. And Trip eventually proposes a toast to Archer's dad, whose Warp 5 engine will help save the human race.
Oh my God, can we get over this dad thing? Jesus!
It's Trip who says it, not Archer.
But both of them are obsessed.
They're just having a nice conversation.
Fine.
They discuss how much T'Pol has annoyed them, but now she's an essential part of the group.
She was a real bitch to begin with, but I kind of
They
like
essentially
her now.
say that. That's pretty much the tone of it.
No, that checks out.
Trip then goes a little dark and says, I can't wait to get in there, Captain, and find the people who did this, and tell me we won't be tiptoeing around. None of that non-interference crap T'Pol is always shoving down our throats. Maybe it's good that she's leaving. And Archer says, we'll do what we have to do, Trip.
Wait,
whatever it takes.
That T'Pol's the one being like, let's not interfere?
Well,
But she does do that.
Trip's got the bloodlust.
But that was like a while ago,
Yeah.
and now it's been all Archer.
Suddenly, the ship shakes because they are under attack. We are suddenly back on the bridge, and T'Pol has identified the attacker as Duras. And guess what Duras doesn't know? The hull plating has been upgraded, and Enterprise has photon torpedoes, and he gets his ass kicked. He is trying to... He doesn't understand why anything is not working. They're using antimatter weapons against him. Archer tries to play it safe with a low-yield attack, which hits the Klingon ship, but then they kick it up to 50%, and the Klingons have to drop out of warp to do repairs.
Oh, poor Duras.
Archer must love Duras, because it's just like, finally somebody else that is more incompetent than himself.
Yeah, you think I'm bad? You should see this Klingon motherfucker.
The Klingons drop out of warp to do repairs, and Archer orders Enterprise to go to warp 4.5. He figures if they can make it to Vulcan space before the Klingons can repair their engines, they'll think twice about pursuing. This is a really hilarious scene. This makes me very funny, because as much as I don't care for the Enterprise crew, I really don't like the Klingons, and it's just refreshing to just like see them get their ass handed to them.
For sure. The Klingons in this are almost worse than the Vulcans in this.
I should probably save this for the end of the episode, but seriously, I think my MVP for this episode is the Klingon helmsman who has to tell Duras what's going on. Duras is like, why isn't he destroyed? And the guy has like, it's like his direct report is like, well, their hull plating has been upgraded and they have antimatter weapons. He's the T'Pol of this Klingon crew.
Oh my God.
We are in Archer's room where he and T'Pol are having a conversation, and he tells her, just think, in 2 days you'll be eating real Vulcan food. And T'Pol says that Chef has done an adequate job of approximating Vulcan cuisine. Well, Archer says, you never did get used to our smell. I've gotten around to it. And then there's all the emotions. And she says, I've grown accustomed to all of that as well, somewhat. Archer says, you're not making this easy. There's got to be something you're looking forward to back home. And then T'Pol says, I don't want to return to Vulcan. She wants to stay if Archer will allow it.
Oh.
And Archer says, it's not a question of allowing. the Vulcan High Command has ordered her. And T'Pol says, I'm resigning my commission.
Ooh.
Because it's more important that she be on the ship, and he will need a science officer.
Does that mean she's going to join Starfleet?
I was just going to ask that.
Unknown.
Is she going to wear a uniform if she joins Starfleet?
Archer takes all of this in, and wouldn't you know it, he agrees. This is a very nice scene. I've compacted this, but watch this. This is a nice scene between these two. We get a Captain Starlog supplemental. We've been traveling at Warp 5 for 7 weeks. The crew is anxious to begin our mission. The ship is approaching a purple haze that surrounds the Delphic Expanse, apparently. Distance, nearly 1,000,000 kilometers, says Travis. Trip says, looks a hell of a lot closer than that, and T'Pol says, that's a common mistake when viewing something this large. The Enterprise heads in, and they actually explain that they're going to be able to keep in touch with Starfleet by launching communication buoys as they go.
Very nice.
And as they head through this haze, which is screwing up their sensors, they said that they've detected something. Maybe it's one of the buoys. Not unless you launch 3 of them. It's the Klingons. 3 birds of prey this time.
These goddamn Klingons. Take a fucking hint, Duras. Leave the room. There's some other shit going on.
I don't have time for your shit right now. You're at Duras 8 right now. I need you to be at Duras 4.
I just have this image of them, like, holding him, like, sticking their arm out over his head, and he's, like, trying to get to them, but he can't.
That's really what it's like. Trip says, I thought you said the Klingons wouldn't go into the Expanse, and Archer says, we're not in the Expanse yet. Hold your course. Go to full impulse.
And also, don't underestimate how dumb Duras is.
Trip says, I wouldn't recommend that, Captain. The intake manifolds are having a tough time as it is. And here's the question we've talked about the intake manifolds before. What are the intake manifolds taking in space? It's not a jet engine. They don't need oxygen to flow through these.
Great question.
They are still in the purple goo. No one can see anything, and targeting can't lock on the Klingons. They're trying to fight them. Duras commands them to get closer so that their shots will hit. Klingons make with the pew pew pew, and Enterprise tries to. The Enterprise figures if they can make it into the Expanse, the Klingons will peel off and not follow them. They do actually.
Duras is 100% going to follow them.
Of course.
They are almost out of the purple cloud, and the other Klingon ships start to turn away, and Duras's helmsman tries to make a course correction, but Duras pulls him away to pursue Archer into the Expanse.
Yeah, what's going to happen is eventually Archer's going to have to save Duras.
Yeah.
And then Duras is not going to arrest him because he's going to be like, Archer saved me.
No, he's going to be mad about it.
It's going to somehow, like, they're going to take the bounty off his head because they're like, well, I guess he saved a Klingon or something. I bet something like that's going to happen.
Archer asks Malcolm why the torpedoes aren't working, and Malcolm says, Duras has transferred the power from his aft shields to the forward shields. Our weapons can't penetrate them.
So shoot him in the butt.
Tucker says, we just lost 3 antimatter injectors, Captain, anymore, and we're in big trouble. And Archer says, to Maria's point, if he's transferred his shielding forward, what's protecting his stern? Minimal shielding. And Archer says to Travis, think you can pull off an L4 at this speed? And Travis says, he'll try. Back in space, Duras has lost Enterprise because they flew into a black cloud and the purple cloud. And Duras keeps going forward because he's intelligent but not experienced. His patterns indicate two-dimensional thinking. Guess what? The Enterprise has done a big loop-de-loop behind a cloud and comes up behind him. They fire 3 photon torpedoes right up the aft, and the Klingon ship shatters, which is richly satisfying. But crucially, the command section of the Bird of Prey looks to be in one piece, so Duras will probably be back.
So he killed everybody except the command staff.
I'm just saying, we very clearly see it is not a huge...
Yeah. They make a point to show that is...
Yeah. Enterprise has arrived at the Expanse. Archer says to T'Pol, you sure you want to tag along? And T'Pol says,
well, too
it's
late
only
now.
logical.
You don't got a choice at this point.
T'Pol
For a
says,
penny.
it's only logical. Archer's final line is, "Straight and steady, Mr. Mayweather. Let's see what's in there." End of episode. Stuff happens in this episode. You know how, for 2 seasons, we've been like, wow, they really didn't have a B plot in this episode. All the B plots are converging on every single episode. Every single thing in this episode, it was either plot-driven or characters interacting with each other, talking about the relationships. It was lots of stuff happened. Let's put it that way.
Cool.
I like that the Suliban showed up just to be like, okay, guys, so from now on, we are no longer the big bad. There's a new big bad called the Zindi. We're just here to let you know, bye-bye.
Yeah, we cool.
You don't have to worry about us anymore.
It almost felt like
we're not going to be on your ceilings anymore. We cool.
It almost felt like a summary episode, like previously on Star Trek Enterprise, and they showed all the interesting stuff. This was all interesting stuff.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Well,
lots of good character moments, and if this show is promising to go in a new direction, this was the way to do it.
Well, and that is what apparently does happen. So.
2 truths and a lie outcome. You both guessed it. The Vulcans do not admit that time travel exists.
I said,
and in fact,
Maria did not get it.
I picked Trip. I was wrong.
In fact, they go so far as to try to prove medically illegally that Archer is insane for suggesting that it is.
I can't believe how much HIPAA laws have been destroyed in the future.
That was one of the things that Khan got rid of when he took over most of the Earth. Porthos good boy scale. How good of a boy was Porthos in this episode? We do not see Porthos at all, but they do mention that while the entire crew is nervous about the mission, Porthos is sound asleep in his bed.
But they don't show it?
They do not show it. They just mention...
waste of an opportunity. But at least we know he's still there.
Yeah, I'm glad we get a little... They should have left Porthos on Earth for this mission, because presumably they're going back to Earth after the mission. So, don't take the dog on the mission where, everybody could get, flayed or whatever.
Oh, I know.
Leave Porthos on Earth. I'm sure you can find a cat sitter. I have a very good recommendation.
Saucy section. How sexy was this episode on a scale from William Riker to Thomas Riker? Fight me. It is not at all sexy. Although I did learn that there is a deleted scene where Archer goes to a restaurant.
I like that it's sexy to more sexy is your scale.
There is a deleted scene where Archer goes to a restaurant and has a date with an old flame named Becky. You can watch it. It's not that interesting.
Becky? Not Carolyn?
Yeah.
Nope. Her name is Becky.
Wait, Archer goes on a date and you just, skipped it?
It was a deleted scene.
Oh, a deleted scene.
I just learned that it was a deleted scene. So because I had nothing else to bring up for the sexy scale, I thought I would bring that up. Never asked, never answered. Something in the episode that made no sense and was never explained. The Suliban helping Archer is kind of glossed over and is really only there as a way to get the plot moving forward towards the Zindi and the Expanse.
Yeah, it literally is they show up and they're like, so turns out we're not very good at being the big bad. People think we're ridiculous instead of scary. Yeah. So show's going to move in a different direction from now on. We're going to take a back seat and there's a new big bad just here to let you know about
Literally
it.
No reason why they should trust the Suliban.
Yeah. And I think that is exactly what happened. I think they just decided this Suliban nonsense is not working. We have to have somebody else. So yeah.
Technical difficulties, the most technobabble thing from the episode. To Jamie's point, the quantum device that can measure ages and tell you that things are from the future reminds me of my question to Phil about carbon dating, only it's more timey-wimey and serves to prove that Archer is right. What the creepiest thing Phlox said in this episode, he didn't do anything creepy. He was very supportive of everybody, but why does he need 200 snow beetles? The mind reels.
And why does he need 200 snow beetles and no additional medical staff?
Yeah.
Yes, Chef. Any mentions of Chef? Yes. T'Pol mentions that Chef is good at preparing Vulcan cuisines. Whereas HR, Trip could probably use some counseling about the death of his sister and maybe not be on the mission, but, you know.
Poor Trip.
Yeah.
Wait, do we ever get to know his sister's name?
Lizzie.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little moment there. We actually don't learn that she is officially dead. She is among the missing. So.
Oh, yeah. So she might
Yeah,
still...
I feel like she's definitely still alive because if you don't see a body...
Right.
Yeah,
she just must be like not
was...
able to contact everyone. Or something.
I mean, the meta of this is that the whole thing. This is as much as we talk about like the Suleiman thing being a 9/11 thing. This was literally like the Xindi plot. My understanding is the 9/11 plot. So people just missing and you never learn is very adjacent to that. So
I see.
Oh, yeah. This does make sense. If this is, we did, because we did learn. Remember, way back. In our season 1 midway point episode,
no, I do not remember.
From Earth Station Trek, Chuck from Earth Station Trek told us that there was going to be an Enterprise 9/11 episode, and we were like, "Oh, it's the Suleiman one."
The one at the concentration camp or whatever it was.
But now I'm like, maybe it's this one. Maybe this is the 9/11 one.
And now, this is a segment of our show we like to call Will's Hollow Recs, brought to you by Eric TM, where we give each other our Rikermendations for non-Enterprise related content we've been consuming in our holodecks this week. Jamie, what is your recommendation?
All right, so I want to recommend a podcast called Rehash. The hosts are Maya Wyman and Hannah Rain, and they do deep dives into like internet history topics in a way that is just very thoughtful and non-judgmental. My favorite seasons of theirs was one that was just on like maligned internet subcultures, and another one of their seasons was on sex on the internet. Just going over like the whole history of sex on the internet, from basically cyber sex chat rooms all the way to like dating apps and AI porn. It's just so thoughtful. They're so good, and it's deeply researched. I really like it. It's called Rehash.
Cool.
Maria, what is your recommendation?
So my recommendation is a little bit of a throwback. I actually recommended this movie, a Netflix movie called Thursday Murder Club some time ago. Really, really enjoyed it, and that made me check out the books. And as it turns out, there is a series of books called The Thursday Murder Club, which this movie is based on. It's by Richard Osman, who is a British comedian. And I recommend anything he has written, all of his mystery stuff. So he's written 4 Thursday Murder Club mysteries. And then I just finished, he has another, I guess it's going to be another series. It's called We Solve Murders. And they're all sort of, the Thursday Murder Club, as I had mentioned, is like a group of people in a retirement community who solve murders, and they get into more and more complex situations over the course of each book, but they also are dealing with all of the normal issues of getting older and aging in a retirement community, and the losing friends and things like that. It's fascinating and heartbreaking, but also just really funny, and you love these people, you want to spend time with them. And then very similarly, We Solve Murder. So basically, Richard Osman's murder books is what I'm recommending.
Excellent. My recommendation this week is for a card game I've started playing called Marrying Mr. Darcy. It is a card game where each player takes on one of the heroines from Pride and Prejudice, and your goal is to get married to one of the eligible suitors from the book. As you proceed, really and you proceed through party season, you are trying to build your wit, reputation, and fortune, or you can use your cunning to undermine the other players. This is an extremely fun game, even if you're not a huge fan of Jane Austen. The actions you have to take as you flip over the party cards are very funny. You might lose reputation because your sister stole someone's bonnet. It's very, very fun.
Fantastic.
How many people?
2 to 6.
Okay.
Nice.
That sounds so much fun.
And it's a short game. You can play it in I think the recommended time is 30 to 60 minutes. And you can even win the game without getting married, but it's a very tricky path to trot. So, Marrying Mr. Darcy. And that's the episode. Thank you for listening. Next week, we'll revisit this episode as a second contact and hear my co-host's thoughts once they have actually watched it. Special thanks to producer K.O. Myers at Particulate Media, and to our friend David for our beautiful cover art, and to John Stephen King for being the voice of our computer. If you like this show, please rate, review, and subscribe on your podcast app of choice. Seriously, just drag some stars over it. It'll take you 5 seconds, and it makes us very happy. But also tell your friends about it. We really appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook as Enterprise Splaining, and on Blue Sky as @EnterpriseSplain. You can also email us any comments or questions, such as, seriously, did you think that T'Pol was going to leave the Enterprise? to enterprisesplaining@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And if you want to support this podcast, you can find us on Buy Me a Coffee as Enterprise Splaining. We will see you next week.
Woo-hoo!
Bye.
Computer. End program.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.